Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Imagine a tiny grain of salt, barely visible to the naked eye, but capable of transforming a dish, preserving life, and even curing certain diseases. This little grain, often underestimated, carries within it a great importance, both physically and spiritually. In Islam, as the Quran reminds us, whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it. Surah Al-Zalzala 99:7-8. Every detail, no matter how small, has value in the eyes of Allah. Rock salt, used for centuries in Muslim societies, is much more than a simple condiment. It is a treasure of nature, a symbol of purity and preservation, and a reminder to pay attention to the little things in our lives. Even today, communities around the world are discovering its benefits. For example, in some rural regions of the Himalayas, rock salt is not only used in cooking, but also to purify water and improve the health of the inhabitants. These small actions perfectly reflect Islamic wisdom. Taking care of what is small can generate great good. Before going any further, ask yourself this question. Have you ever noticed the power of a small gesture, a small object, or even a simple grain of salt in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments as we explore together how something so small can carry immense significance in Islam and in our modern lives. Can you imagine something so small changing your life? Comment on your experience with a small object or gesture that had a big impact. Perfect. Here is the second step. Step 1. Historical and Quranic significance of rock salt. Rock salt has never been a simple condiment. In the history of Muslim societies, it has played a central role in trade, food preservation, and traditional medicine. More than 1,000 years ago, caravans crossing the desert carried salt as a precious treasure, sometimes even more precious than gold, because it allowed food to be preserved over long journeys. The Quran reminds us that even the smallest gifts from God have immense value. In Surah Al-An'am 6:141, Allah speaks of gratitude and the use of the earth's resources. And do not waste, for He does not like wasteful people. Salt, tiny but vital, is a perfect example. It shows us that preservation of life depends on attention to detail, and that gratitude manifests itself even in what we consider ordinary. Today, this wisdom is reflected in modern initiatives. For example, in parts of Africa and Asia, humanitarian projects use rock salt to purify water and enrich the food supply of local populations, thus reducing diseases related to mineral deficiencies. It is a living echo of the Islamic tradition, using the blessings of nature with wisdom and gratitude. Did you know that salt was once transported as a precious treasure? Comment if you have discovered any ancient uses of salt in your culture or family. Think about the little blessings around you. How are you using them? Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us, have you ever been surprised by the importance of a small element of nature or a small gesture in your life? Step 2. Scientific and health benefits of rock salt. Rock salt is not only a historical or spiritual treasure, it also has scientific and nutritional virtues recognized today. Rich in essential minerals such as calcium, potassium, magnesium, and iron, it contributes to the body's electrolyte balance, regulating blood pressure and maintaining optimal health. Recent studies show that in some rural communities in the Himalayas and Andes, where rock salt is used daily, people have fewer deficiencies and better bone health, especially in children and the elderly. These benefits highlight the importance of using natural resources, wisely awareness and moderation, a fundamental principle in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad often reminded that taking care of one's body is a form of respect for the life God has given us. Salt, which seems so small, then becomes a symbol. It teaches us that even the smallest elements of nature play a vital role in our well-being, just as small spiritual or dietary habits can transform our lives. Let's take a concrete example. In a rural village in Nepal, a community initiative distributed mineral-enriched rock salt for prevent anemia in children. Within months, deficiency rates dropped sharply, showing that a single grain can save lives and improve the health of an entire community. Imagine if a small grain of salt could protect your health. Comment if you already use natural methods to stay fit. Did you know that even a small mineral can have a huge impact? Share your experiences with natural remedies in the comments. Have you ever noticed the beneficial effect of a small, natural ingredient on your health or that of your loved ones? Tell us your story. Step 3. Spiritual lessons and metaphors of rock salt in Islam. Beyond its physical and historical virtues, rock salt has a deep spiritual meaning. In Islam, it symbolizes purity, preservation, and strength hidden in small things. Just as a grain of salt preserves food, our small actions, gestures of kindness or daily prayers can preserve our soul and positively influence the society around us. The Quran reminds us of this idea. Even the smallest actions have their importance. In Surah Al-Zalzala 99:7-8, whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it. So every gesture, however small, counts. A smile, a little help, a word of support. These are the spiritual grains of salt that preserve cohesion and goodwill in the community. Today, this wisdom is manifested in contemporary projects. Charitable initiatives in the Muslim world show how small donations or actions can transform lives. For example, an association in Indonesia distributes small portions of mineral-enriched salt to disadvantaged children every week. This simple gesture contributes to their health and their future. Similarly, in our daily lives, a moment of prayer, a piece of advice given, or a simple act of compassion may seem insignificant but have impact immense and durable. Just as a tiny grain of salt transforms a meal or purifies water. Think, what small action could you take today that could have a big impact? Comment if you have ever experienced the power of a small gesture or spiritual action in your life. Share a story where a small, seemingly insignificant gesture had a positive influence on you or those around you. Step 4. Modern applications and real-life stories around rock salt. Rock salt is not just a relic of the past. It continues to transform the lives of communities around the world. Today, its uses extend from cooking with natural medicine, passing through spiritual rituals and water purification. Let's take a concrete example. In a rural region of Nepal, local associations use rock salt to purify water and enrich the inhabitants' food supply, thus reducing diseases related to mineral deficiencies. In other countries, such as Morocco or India, rock salt is integrated into educational and health initiatives, improving the quality of life of thousands of people. This reality perfectly reflects the teachings of the Quran on responsible management of natural resources and the gratitude for God's blessings. As it is said in Surah Al-A'raf 7:31, "And eat and drink, but do not overindulge, for He does not like overindulgence." So, rock salt reminds us that value lies in the wisdom of using even the smallest elements wisely. A single grain, used well, can nourish, heal, and even inspire change throughout an entire community. Even in our individual lives, it is possible to learn practical and spiritual lessons of this mineral. Adding salt consciously, respecting natural resources, or recognizing the value of the small blessings around us. Observe your environment. What small resources or blessings can you use to create a positive impact? Comment if you know of any local initiatives that are transforming lives through small actions or natural resources. Share a personal or community experience where a small gesture or object had a significant impact. Through this journey, we discovered that rock salt, this petit grain humble, is much more than just a mineral. It is historical, scientific, spiritual, and deeply symbolic. In Islam, it reminds us that even the smallest things have immense importance in the eyes of Allah. As the Quran emphasizes, whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it. Surah Al-Zalzala 99:7-8. Today, many communities continue to apply this wisdom. Using salt to preserve health, purify water, or enrich food, they demonstrate that greatness can be born from the smallest thing. Similarly, in our daily lives, small gestures, a smile, a word of support, a prayer, an act of generosity, can transform lives, sometimes more than we imagine. Rock salt then becomes a powerful metaphor. Look around, recognize the blessings, and act with awareness, even in the smallest details. So take a moment to think. What are the little grains in your life that have a big impact? What actions or resources can make a difference today for you, your family, or your community? Look for the hidden treasures around you. Sometimes, the smallest gesture or object has the greatest impact. Comment on your reflection. What little grain in your life deserves more attention and gratitude? Share in the comments one small thing, one action, one object, or one habit that has transformed your life or someone else's. Your experience can inspire others,